We're really excited to be here in Oklahoma City, great arena, unbelievable fan base here in OKC, and just the opportunity to compete at this time of year. This, to me, is what it's all about, going all the way back to our early workouts in June when we put this group together, all the work that they put in with the strength coach, the early mornings, the ups and downs, the highs and lows that you go through over your journey, and it's all designed for this time of year. This is the fun time of the season. And our guys have done an unbelievable job this year of keeping their focus, really have done a good job of not getting ahead of themselves. We understand what's at stake at this time of year and what's at stake for Nebraska. I know the first question is going to be Nebraska's never won a tournament game. We realize that. Have I talked to our players about it? No, I haven't. They know. They see it. And is there pressure that goes along with that? Of course there is. But as I've said to the team, pressure is a privilege. It's what it's all about, to go out there and do the things we've been doing all year. We've prepared the same for this game as we have for every game this season with what we've gone out and tried to accomplish to get ourselves ready to play a really good basketball team. Unbelievably well coached. Coach Cross does an amazing job. 5 20-win seasons in a row. It's a winning culture, and they play extremely hard, and they play unselfish, and they play for each other. So, important in these early games of getting off to a good start, and we're going to have a great crowd here, and we need to get our fans behind us early in this one. But we're excited to be here, and we're excited for the opportunity to compete.
Start here in the front row.
Joe Masada, the Oklahoman. Fred, how have your guys handled the extra attention that is obviously on them with the history they're trying to make with this program?
Yeah, they've handled it well, and they've handled it well all season. And it's been one of the things that I've been most impressed with this group is how they've handled adversity and how they've been able to get over, whether it's an emotional win or a tough, devastating loss. They've been able to put it behind them. We coming off our last game against Purdue, a lot of it had to do with Purdue. Obviously, they're rolling. They cut down the nets in Chicago. And we got an opportunity to reset and regroup and talk about a lot of things heading into this time of year. So, they've handled the adversity well, I guess, to answer your question, very well as a team all season. Nebraska's 0-8 all time, but none of these players were part of the 7 before 2 years ago in Memphis, where we had 3 guys. And they talked about it. They got a little bit caught up in the hoopla. There's a lot of things going on this time of year, and the team that puts up their walls and blocks out the noise, I think, has the best chance of advancing. And our guys, I think, have done a solid job of that.
Sean.
Online. How big could the crowd be, though? You've played in this arena. You know how loud it can get. Yeah. Even at an 11:40 tip-off, how big of an impact could that make in this game?
Yeah, it'll be huge. And, I'm guessing that caravan is coming down from Lincoln, from the entire state, all the alum that will show up. They did it in Memphis a couple years ago. And it helps, obviously. It helps at this time of year, especially in the early start time, to get out there and have the energy of your fan base behind you. And whatever happens, listen, adversity is going to hit us at some point in this game tomorrow. But having, a fan base like we're going to have will help us through that. But again, it's our job. It's our job to get off to a good start, to get the crowd behind us. But whatever happens, we got to stick with it. We got to execute, and we have to stay disciplined.
Back row, and then we'll go to Barry.
Yeah, Cliff Brunt, Associated Press. So there have been obviously some very good players at Nebraska over the years, guys like Eric Strickland, Eric Piatkowski, guys like that, who had great careers but never quite got that win. Have any of the great players from the past at Nebraska reached out to you to kind of emphasize the importance of this to them?
I do hear from a lot of former players, and that's been one of the fun things is I played against those guys back in the old Big 8 days and had some really good battles against them and have developed really good relationships with a lot of those players. And yes, I hear from them after games. I hear from them before games. I've heard from multiple former Huskers going into this one about what it would mean to get over the hump. So yes, it's been fun building the relationships of guys that I had a lot of great respect for just because of the type of players they were and the type of work ethic that they had.
Yeah, Barry Trammell, Tulsa World. Because of your history with the Nebraska program, how much more would it mean to you personally if you could get this schneid off your back and get Nebraska basketball set on a track in which everybody wants?
Yeah, it's a great question, Barry, because this program does mean a lot to me because of my family's history. And my grandfather was the head coach for 9 seasons at the University of Nebraska. I was born in Lincoln. My parents both got their degrees from the University of Nebraska. I've got a lot of family in the state. And, you know, my grandpa Hoiberg was a sociology professor at Nebraska for 30 years. So this place means a lot to me. And, you know, 2 programs, Iowa State and Nebraska, and I've been fortunate enough to be the head coach at both places. And it would mean a lot to our family. It would mean even more to our fans. And, you know, again, they're going to show up. They expect a lot out of this team, as they should. This team has been very easy to root for all season long because of their makeup and how they've approached everything with what you have to accomplish in your daily battles. So, yes, it would mean a lot for our family, and we're going to throw everything we have. It's all about competing and again, fighting through that adversity that we have to do at this time of season if you want to advance.
Go in the front row.
Like Schroeder, Scarlett, shoot around. Hey, Fred, can you just kind of summarize what your Nebraska tenure has been like in the build to get to this moment? And, you know, starting out a couple tough seasons and getting it to where what, you know, is just based on the numbers, the best season in program history.
Yeah, and we knew we took over an enormous rebuild, obviously, with one player, with Thor being the only player on the roster that was retained. And that we were really the only rebuilding team in the Big Ten at that time. I remember talking to John Beeline about that, and how difficult that mountain would be to climb. And then year 2, we go through COVID, and that was a very difficult time to navigate as well. And then, you know, when we got the right players in here, starting with Sam Griesel and Emmanuel Bandamel, I give those 2 guys a lot of credit. Juwan and Derek Walker were huge parts of that as well. And then you get a Josiah Alec, and you get Casey, and you get a lot of players that really helped flip the narrative of Nebraska basketball. So, yes, those first couple of years were rough. And, you know, we knew that what we took over, it would take some time, especially back then. That was before NIL, so you couldn't really buy a team. And, you know, so, yes, it took us some time to get here. But, again, it was all about getting the right players in here, especially the ones that the fans could get behind. And we still, you know, we were that team that was 500 with Griesel. I think if Juwan and Emmanuel stayed healthy, you know, who knows what would have happened. But that team was an easy one to pull for. And I think that's when really we started moving this thing in the right direction. Sam has been instrumental in getting us to this point as well, with helping build chemistry off the court, which I think is very important when you're out there battling, to have a care factor for the guys sitting next to you. And, you know, these guys have been all about the right things. We're not the most talented group. We're not the most athletic group. But for the most part, we've been the most together group.
Go to Cliff on the back row.
Yeah, Cliff Brunt, Associated Press. So you laid out your family's history with the University of Nebraska, so you're obviously well aware of the great history of the Nebraska football program. What does it mean to you to bring some of that energy to the basketball program? Yeah,
and I know that I was a diehard Husker football fan growing up, like to the point where I would have a meltdown if they got beat in their games, which didn't happen very often back then. So, but not only that, but the volleyball program, you know, for what they've accomplished. Amy Williams being in the tournament again this year, Rhonda Revelle with the softball, Will Bolt, I could go down the line, Mark Manning with wrestling. So, you know, it's an honor to be a part of this athletic program, just the type of people that are leading their respective programs and the way the fans show up for them. So, you know, just when you go to a baseball game or a softball game, there's no empty seats. It's the same thing with Pinnacle Bank Arena. So the energy that our fans have brought to really help us get over the hump and have some key signature wins, our fans have played a huge part in that. And it's fun to share the journey when you go through that with the fans that have been so supportive.
Any other questions for Coach Hoiberg? No?
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.